Things might be short. I may announce it's a short video, but sometimes things aren't as long as the perception of the one mind that speaks. I can go on for an hour and tell you it's a short video. But that's okay, because friends know how busy friends can be. I always dislike to worry when people do not understand. We all have the right to deny life to birth, to an agenda in which with friendship is adjustable in some ways, but not always. Thank you, Anna, for letting me be able to think about that. The next item I would like to talk about is something that is quite bizarre. Things that are sharp. The mind is sharp. It is cutting and cunning. Can rip you apart, yet you're always together. Something that is sharp. The sharpest mind is correct. But the sharpest thing of all is something that we take for granted. And that's correct. Stone, rock, crushed rock, right? Turns to sand. Is that not correct? What is sand? Okay, let me look up what is sand. Let me look this up. What is sand made from? And the answer that the most common component of sand is silicon dioxide in the form of quartz. The Earth's land masses are made up of rocks and minerals, including quartz, feldspar, and mica. Weathering processes such as wind, rain, freezing, thawing cycles break down these rocks and minerals into smaller grains, in which we call science sand, made from and on Earth naturally. Sand put together as glass cuts. You can cut things like crazy. Things that cut are scissors, another form of sand, right? But the greatest sand of the understanding is that your body, a vegetable, you give it some minerals and some water, and you put it in the ground, it grows up, and you go and you feed it to the pig. And the pig dies and the cat eats the pig, but you don't eat the cat. Dog eats the pig, but that's okay. But now what happens is they take that pig and they bring it to the old grinder where it just died. And they cook it up. And they turn it into a powder, something like a sand. And they take that and they feed it back to the animals again. They take the cow, they grow the cow, they get it to the market, they kill the cow, they cut it up into slices, and you go eat the cow. How did the cow get that big? Could have been the sand. Because the seed was sowed in the sand, where they put the minerals over it. Then it grew into legume. Vegan. Cow eats vegan. Most cows eat vegan. We eat the cow. We're eating what? We're not eating the seed. We're eating a seed that was mineralized into the sand that can be cut up in your body if the cycle is right and cut you up inside. An animal that grows from the sand, who eats the organisms, that turn organisms into organisms and makes its heart work, that makes it alive, that goes into you once you get sick and it eats you up and kills you. And where there's elements that made the scissors from the sand, that be connected with a magnet, that can be controlled by the sky, that moves the energy, because we know the moon and the energy moves the ocean because of the salt, and there's lots of salt in our diet. So the sun comes down, it penetrates into the earth, giving it a little radiation, shaking up the earth, letting the air go through the earth, feeding into the seed is the water and the elements from the rocks that got crushed, turning into sand, and it grows up to be wheat, which wheat in English and French is number 8. And the cow eats the wheat, and he eats some soya and corn, and they put in some byproducts into it, and the cow grows real big. They kill the cow. We go to the supermarket, we buy it, we eat the cow. But the cow only ate a little seed. Well, it was a seed to start with until the water and the sun came in. And then the cow held within his own skin. And skin is porous. So I guess our skin is made out of plastic. Since inside of it, right, inside of glass, okay, it said over here, silicon dioxide. Everybody knows what silicon does, right? DOX-ide in the form of quartz. Quartz is part-time, right? Isn't it, you know what quartz is? Saltwater science, practically making what you can with the material weathered from the inland rock from sea cliff material and transported to the beach on the wind or in the rivers and shells of other hard parts of the precipitation out of the ocean, water by marine organisms. Organisms in your body. Everything is controlled by something. If you can get to this science, you can control practically every human being on this planet, but you have to alter the state of mind. And there is a drug that is naturally grown in Colombia where it's called the date rape, where you can just give this to the person and all of a sudden you can tell that person to do whatever he does. The next day you wake up, you have no idea what you did. What is sand? Cuts like glass. The strongest thing, cutting you up inside without you even knowing it and sewing you back together. Eating you up with the minerals that take apart the rock. There's stuff that takes apart rock. They say rain and wind can take apart rock. So therefore they can tear apart your body inside your body by the organisms eating away. Because obviously something has to eat away. You just don't run water into the rock and it goes away. There has to be something about the water that can actually penetrate into the rock, or an element maybe through the sun that will dry the rock and it will crumble to its first state that it was before it ever was rock. Everything must come back to its first state, does it not? Dissolve. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. The time is stretched. I spoke about baseball before. What other games besides baseball will end after half of the game is over? Thank you for watching. We won't talk about boxing. Boxing ends before it is over. Wrestling usually can end before it is over. A race can be over before it even ends, because the first guy can come in so you know who was first, right? Possibilities. Curling, the game can actually be over because it's in the final end. Are there any others? Chess. Does it end at the end, or is it already end somewhere at the beginning? And then we're going to go into Monopoly next. Raphael 7286 at 7:47. Thank you for watching this video.